everyone, and welcome to Perspectives. I'm your host, Sam Jones, and today we're going to be talking to a newfound friend. In fact, his name is Phil Lakin. Thank you. He's chairman of the Tulsa City Council. I thought you changed your name there for a minute. Welcome, Phil.
Welcome. Good to see you,
have
Sam.
you here.
Thank you.
You are kind of a Renaissance man, and I don't think the folks that don't know this. I had no idea. You're chairman of the Tulsa City Council on one side.
Right.
You're a member of this board and that board, and yet on the other side, you're a mountain climber.
Yes, that's my escape.
Is it?
I love it. I love getting to be outdoors. I just wish we could move the mountains of Colorado a little bit closer to Tulsa.
You've climbed or walked, I don't know which, but what is it, 69 of the 70 14,000-foot mountains in the continental United States?
I've done them all.
Well, You've done them all now.
Yes, there are 70 if you're counting every single one of them in the lower 48. 15 in California, about 58 in Colorado, and then you've got the one in Washington, so Mount Rainier. Some people don't count all of them because they don't have enough relief in between the peaks, but I just decided to climb them all, so I always say 70 plus peaks. But I've been on top of everything in the continental United States that is 14,000 feet or higher.
Most interesting thing you saw?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. There's always different wildlife up there. Sometimes there's ptarmigans. They're birds that really blend in really well with the rocks, and it's amazing. I can take a picture of a ptarmigan, and then in the picture, I can't find the ptarmigan whenever I get back home. That's how good their camouflage is.
Well, where do you find them?
Usually higher elevations, 11 or 12,000 feet or so. And then you'll see different things. In California, one time I was climbing a 14er, and unfortunately I came through a lot of mountain goat carcasses, if that's the right plural for that. But it seems like they just came over and they got caught in an avalanche, and so there must have been 20 or 25 mountain goats that used to be alive that weren't alive anymore. And they had been there for, I don't know, probably a year or so. So just amazed by what went through the minds of those goats as they were following the leader over the hill. And then they found out pretty quickly that
like
they
the
were
Walt Disney Lemmings.
Yes, yeah, they weren't in good shape because they followed that first one over. Yeah.
Well, let's get down to a couple of things that have gone by the wayside. You are, I think, single-handedly responsible for some new legislation in the city of Tulsa that had to do with people on the median, panhandling, if you will, sometimes with dogs.
Right.
Traffic hazard. I'm surprised no one's been killed.
Unfortunately, somebody has been killed. So where our office is at Tulsa Community Foundation at 71st and Yale, a car accident took place in the intersection. A person ran a red light, T-boned a car. That car then slid across the median. Unfortunately, at that time, there were two people distributing literature for a church's drug abuse prevention program. Mm-hmm. And so one was killed and one was critically injured. And unfortunately, the employees of Tulsa Community Foundation had to look out and see the aftermath of all of that as somebody was removed from literally underneath a car. So I've never believed that it was safe for anybody to be out on those very narrow medians. They're sitting out on something that's 2 or 3 feet wide. Was never meant for anybody to be out on. It's really designed just to protect the cars from getting rear-ended, to kind of move them into a left turn movement, to separate cars that are going 40 miles an hour on either side. And yes, last night the council approved that ordinance amendment 5-3, so it should go into effect within the next 30 days.
Why haven't you run for mayor?
I really did think about it for a long time this last time, but I am blessed to have what I think is the best job in America. So I get to run Tulsa Community Foundation. I've been there for 26 years. We're the second largest community foundation in the country, and we get to help individuals and corporations give their money to charitable organizations, predominantly in Tulsa, but also across the country and world. And it's good work. I work with good people, philanthropists, who really do want to care for the needs of others, or the arts, or the environment, or whatever it may be. and I get to help them make those goals and dreams of theirs true. But I also get to help meet the needs of all those people who are willing and able to receive their funds to assist with social service needs, arts needs, whatever it may be.
Let me just shotgun a question, and trust me on this, because it is a shotgun blast. From your vantage point, biggest problem facing the city of Tulsa?
Homelessness.
What do we do about it?
Yeah, we really do have a multi-pronged approach right now. So trying to get people off the streets is goal number one, trying to give them a home. I would say 2/3 of the people want to be off the streets. 1/3 just want to be on their own. They want to camp down by the river or somewhere else. For those who do want to be off, we really are and have had a hard time finding places for them to live. So in our most recent tax package that we approved in the city of Tulsa, we approved $75 million for affordable housing. So leveraging our city dollars with dollars that are out there from other entities, for-profit, not-for-profit, banks, it really doesn't matter. So we'll have a much higher supply and a much higher supply of affordable homes so that we have places for people to go, whether you're making minimum wage or making under minimum wage or are homeless. So it's just a path. Get them into shelters, get them into emergency temporary housing, then quickly rehouse them and provide services so that they can be supported, and then move them into a place where they could have a permanent home, just like you and I do.
You know, Phil, it's not a problem that's unique to Tulsa. It's all over the country.
It's all over the country.
And there are people in other cities that are trying this and trying that. There doesn't seem to be a solution. There doesn't seem to be a way, if you're really hardcore homeless, there doesn't seem to be a way to pull you out of that or make you want to, to take a hand to get out.
Right. I think all this, as you said, all the cities across America are struggling with this. Some have had some success here or there. Most of the larger cities are deploying a wide variety of systems to help resolve the issue. So there are those who want to stay out, and they have to abide by the laws that we abide by. And so there's the stick approach that says, look, you can't trespass, you can't live on somebody's property without their permission. You can't do these things because none of us can do those things, and you're not any different. And then there's the carrot options, which are much more substantial and much more important. Let us help you with these things that you need help with. You may have a drug addiction, you may have a mental health condition. I know our mental health services organization of Oklahoma has had a lot of success putting those individuals who need wraparound services into apartment buildings. So they may buy an entire apartment complex. They may rent out 80% of those at market rate, but 20% of those are to clients of theirs. And they're interspersed, and they're going in there and making sure they're taking their medications and receiving the kinds of services that they should.
Well, I saw a program that's just gone into effect, I want to say in Phoenix. I could be wrong. It's either Phoenix or Houston, where they bought shipping containers, refurbished them, made, if you can imagine a shipping container attractive, they made these things attractive.
Right.
Set up a shipping container park for homeless. Then, after they'd hooked me into going, isn't that nice? We could do that. Then they hit me with a price tag. And I'm thinking, whoa, hold on. So anything that looks good, you better look around on the backside of it, because like the price on this made it prohibitive, even for Tulsa.
Right. Yeah, we just passed at the city council level with the mayor's support and action on the front end, in fact, a $6 million budget amendment to basically house 300 families for 1 year, for up to 1 year. There'll be some that go a little bit beyond and some that go a little bit less. But our hope is to get 300 families out of our shelters, which are already overcrowded, put them into these homes, give them the services they need so that then they can continue living in those places on their own. That 300 places that we free up in the shelters will then be available to take people from off of the streets. But if you do the math, 6 million divided by 300 is $20,000 per family. That's a lot of money. And if it doesn't work in the first year, then we have to go back and get some more money. And then there's a whole new group of people that are probably going to need services as well.
You guys need a really big drawing board.
We do, yes. And I don't think it's something that the taxpayers are willing to continue to fund. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, we didn't have the same kinds of problems, not only in Tulsa, but all across the country. So I think all of us continue to really probe to find out why we are having these problems and what's the root cause. There are more people in the United States. There are changes in the way that people live. So older people are living longer, and they may continue to live in homes as single individuals. So that housing stock is not on the market. There's drug addictions. There's probably mental health issues. I don't know if the mental health issues are any different now than they were 10 years ago. The drug issues are definitely different.
You know, last year I took my camera, and my wife and I would take a drive about 5:30 in the evening, just down where you would normally find homeless people. And we got to know familiar faces, you know. We've seen that guy before, we've seen that woman before. Then we started seeing families. Then we started seeing children without family, without a parent. I'm kind of at a loss as to how someone could choose to be homeless, to live on the street. What do you do when it gets cold? What do you do when it gets hot? When it rains? Tornado warnings? Where do you head? You know.
Right.
And it's not that I'm a climber. You know, I work, although now I'm looking at retirement. I don't understand the mentality. But the point I wanted to make here, we got to know the drug dealers as well as we know the faces of the homeless. And we knew the days they'd be there, which was usually after payday, after a check came, Social Security or whatever.
Right.
And these folks had a little cash. The dealers knew it. And they were down there with nickel and dime bags, you know, hooking up folks. And I mean, it's an amazing culture.
Yeah, it is, and it's something that I'm totally unfamiliar with. You've shared a lot of information today, just now, that I was just not aware of.
Oh, I'd be glad to take you.
Yeah, no, I'd love to be able to go and to see that.
Put you in the car and my little bug, and I could show you things.
Right.
In fact, I'd take the whole city council if I could get them in it to let them see. These folks are pretty savvy. The dealers, and you know they work for somebody. I mean,
absolutely.
You know how the drug culture works.
It's a business.
But anyway, we're running out of time fast. Is there anything I can say or do that would get you to run for mayor?
You're very nice. I don't know if Mayor Nichols would like it very much if I had decided to run. No, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, I have to balance. The good part of what I get to do is work in the charitable sector, work as a city councilor for the city that I truly, truly love, and be a really good, I think, father and husband, and get to enjoy the outdoors and do things that are really important to me. You know, the bad or the good is that I've spent 13 years at the council, so I know what it's like to be mayor. I know what responsibilities he or she have. There's a lot of things that appeal to me, for sure, and just the opportunity to lead our city in the ways that mayors can and only can is strongly appealing to me. But so is what I have. So, you know, maybe if I didn't have the job at Tulsa Community Foundation, it would be easier. But I really do think that I've been given an e-ticket, and I just can't see doing anything else in my life. So thank you, though.
We got about a minute left. I got to share one quick story with you. You are aware, I'm sure, that the president appointed a woman to become his education czar.
Right. It's just in Tulsa.
And she came to Oklahoma.
Right.
And at the end of her tour, well, I left out a part. She is the ex-wife, I think, or wife, current wife, I don't know, of the World Wrestling Federation guy.
Right. Yes.
Anyway, she's pretty savvy about wrestling and business. So somebody said, well, before you leave Oklahoma, would you like to meet our education secretary? She said, no.
Oh.
And the TV stations just, I mean, you could hear the chins hit the chest, you know. She didn't want anything to do with it because she knew of the political climate that's going on.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things facing you right now, isn't it?
It is, but the great thing about being a city councilor is it's very apolitical. Water doesn't care, sewer, trash, roads, traffic signals, police, fire. That's all apolitical. I have to make sure that everybody gets those services every single day, whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Well, you've done a terrific job.
Thank you.
And thank you
Very
for what you're going to do down the road. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more out of you.
Thank you.
Phil, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Sam.
Short break. We'll be back with more right after this.